many of you heard others saying, and maybe yourself saying, that the past doesn't matter. Leave the past in the past. Focus on the future. Don't look back to your past. Or another saying, if you focus on the past hurdles, you will attract more situations as in your past that hurt you. How many of you hear that? Me, myself, I heard for so many times. And it also was my very strong belief. I really did believe that if I focus on my past, something bad will happen. I will attract bad karma, bad situations again in my life. So what I was basically doing, I was running from my past by ignoring it, by not looking, by pushing it away. And this is based on fear. This belief that past doesn't matter, that we shouldn't focus on the past, we shouldn't even look to that direction, look only forward, from those motivational speakers, from the law of attraction, that like attracts like, and so on. So, in this video, I'm about to share with you that it's not true. Past matters, and it matters a lot. And also, I will share with you why the past actually matters. What are the consequences of us ignoring our past and running away from our past? Then I will share with you when looking to the past becomes toxic, when we should stop, at which point we should stop looking to the past and dwelling in the past. And at the end, I will share how to work with our past so it serves us, how to integrate our past experiences in order to serve it. So let's move on, guys. First of all, why the past matters and why it doesn't matter so much and why we should focus on our past. First of all, your past made you who you are, right? All the mistakes that you did, all of the experiences that you had, in one way or another, it programmed you. It's the same saying, if the past made you who you are, then who you are doesn't matter, right? If you believe that your past doesn't matter, then you're saying that who you are doesn't matter. The story and the history of your parents, of your grandparents, of your ancestors, it doesn't matter. Because it's the past, right? We shouldn't focus on the past. Even in constellations, who knows what it is, who had experience with it? In constellations, people also say that the past needs to be acknowledged in order to understand why things are manifesting in the present moment as they do. That's how powerful our past is, and that's one of the reasons why we should care about our past, why we should revisit our past. So, basically acknowledgement of the past is needed to understand the present moment. So then you can understand where the blockages are coming from. So then you can start move on forward. Without this acknowledgement, you will stay stuck. The second reason why the past matters is because your past is full of lessons. And if it's full of lessons, then you're learning. If you're learning, you're growing. But of course, it's your choice. It's each of our choice to choose whether we want to learn from our past, or will we ignore our past, like run away or put our head into the sand and pretend that no, I don't have my past, nothing happened in the past. Let's not look to that direction. The past holds a lot of lessons, and if we choose to learn from our own mistakes, then it's must revisiting our past. The third reason why the past matters is because our lessons, if we chosen to look back to our past, if we choose to look back to our past, we see those lessons by seeing our mistakes in our past behavior, right? So all of those lessons become like our stepping stones that we are creating the future that we want, that we envision for ourselves, based on actions that we are making right here and right now. Because we are creating the future by the present moment. So if we are not applying the lessons learned from the past into the present moment, we will not go further than that, than recreating our past. And we will be stuck living and reliving and recreating our past. So that's another reason why past matters and why we should and must look back to our past. The fourth reason why the past matters, it's very similar. Your past is a wonderful learning material. It's like a book from which you can learn from your own past. But not only about other people, but about yourself first, in relation to other people. For example, if honestly you look back to your past, it will give you clarity. It will give you clarity about how you played a certain role in each and every situation that hurt you. You will see how your own behavior participated in creating that hurt for yourself, and the same for another person, because hurt people, right? So it gives so much awareness if we choose to look to our past. Fifth reason why the past matters is looking to the past gives you an opportunity to redo something what was done in a wrong way. Basically, when we are doing that self-reflection about our past, right? We see all the lessons, all the mistakes of ours, the same as mistakes of other people, then we have a very beautiful opportunity given from life to redo. So it means the relationships that were lost because of our own wrongdoings can be revived. Because when we learn, we know what to do and how to do it better this time. So, for example, if it happened that you did something wrong that caused hurt to other people, Life gives you a chance, an opportunity to go and apologize. Life gives you a chance, an opportunity to speak up what hurt you, so you don't hold those resentments within yourself, and you can carry yourself to the future in a lighter way without those heavy resentments. And it's a very common lesson of the past. People are not speaking up. People are not verbalizing, not vocalizing how they are feeling, how somebody else's behavior made them feel. And this is the reason because of why this is happening, because people believe, subconsciously at least, but many people do believe consciously, and this belief is coming from the spiritual community that says that your feelings is nobody's responsibility, so you need to deal it on your own with yourself and by yourself. When it's not true, we need other people to deal with our feelings. We need to speak up, to open our throat chakra in order to release those feelings, in order to be truthful, in order to be authentic about how we are feeling, what we are feeling, why we are feeling. I just had a very honest confrontation with my flatmate. That was so healing and so wonderful. And I was running on that belief that she's not responsible for how I'm feeling. I need to deal it by myself. And that's exactly what was happening. The resentment was building more and more, the frustration, the anger, everything. And then I realized, okay, I'm feeling anger. What does it tell me? That my needs, that I'm feeling hurt, because anger covers the feeling of hurt. And then I thought, okay, why am I hurt? Why am I feeling hurt? And then, of course, because of the situation that I found myself in, that my needs are not being met. And then, okay, Lily, why are your needs not being met? Because you're not vocalizing it, because you're not speaking it, because you're not speaking how you're feeling, you're not speaking what your needs are, you're expecting another person to read your mind. And when we are able to see that by going to the past, by revisiting our past, wonderful things happen. We have a chance to redo the situations. We have a chance to redo relationships and be in a more healthy ones with the same ones that it fallen apart. Yeah, I'm very inspired now to talk about this topic. So the sixth reason why the past matters, exactly, it's emotional healing. Because if we are not revisiting our past, we are not allowing ourselves to feel what happened in the past. Basically, by ignoring the past, we are running from those feelings that the past caused us to feel, because it's very uncomfortable, it's very hurtful. And that belief that comes from the law of attraction, from spiritual community, that, if you're gonna focus on what hurts you, you will attract more things in your life that hurt you. No, you will release what hurts you by revisiting your past. You need to feel it in order to heal it. You can't mentalize healing. You need to feel it. And revisiting the past helps it so much. And if we choose this path, if we choose the healing path, if we choose revisiting our past and doing that shadow work and working on our dark sides of self, then we are opening our heart. Because if we choose to run from our past and pretend that, no, my past doesn't matter, I shouldn't look to that direction, guess what? You will keep running with your heart closed down. completely, and you will enter a new relationship one after another with expectation that now will be better, while emotional healing never happened, never took place. And for this to take place, you need to go back. You need to revisit your past. So basically, 6 reasons I found why the past matters. First, your past made you who you are. So if you say that the past doesn't matter, so I won't ask you. So who you are doesn't matter? Really? Second, your past is full of lessons. Learn from those. Grow from those. So you will become a better person for your future and for now. Third, use those lessons as your stepping stones. Because if we don't revisit our past, we won't create a better future. Fourth, basically I'm repeating myself now. Fourth, the past is like a book of learning material. Not only about others, but about yourself. So again, if you want to grow, if you want to mature, you need to revisit your past. Fifth, your past, the fact that you just revisit your past gives you an opportunity to redo things, to redo situations, to redo relationships, and come out better and wiser and with better results. Sixth, emotional healing and heart staying open. Revisiting the past helps our heart to stay open. So now let's talk about the consequences of ignoring our past. What happens? First, if we choose to ignore our past and pretend that no, it never happened, or it doesn't matter, we should focus on our future, let's leave what's in the past in the past. If we choose this path, then we will be repeating the same lessons, the same cycles of the same lessons all over and over and over again, and we will stay stuck on the same hamster wheel. Second, we will create more karma for our future generations to come, because every action that we take has a cause and effect. And in another topic, in next videos, I will share with you how we are creating karma for future generations. And the first person who will pay your own karma is your own child. So if you don't want this, revisit your past. Don't run from it. Third, the third consequence of ignoring our past. We will continue living in victim's mentality, that the world happens to us, that everybody is doing wrong for us, that how everybody are bad, treating us badly, and so on, and we will never see our own role in each hurtful situation that we endured. So victim's mentality is not leading anywhere. It keeps us stuck and makes us and causes us to repeat the same cycles all over and over again. The fourth consequence of ignoring our past is we will never create the future that we envision for ourselves if we will not learn from our past. And in order to learn from our past, we must revisit our past. We must dive deep into that and not be afraid that, oh, if I look to the side that hurt me, to the experiences that hurt me, it means I will create and attract more of that. No. You will feel it and you will heal it. Okay. The fifth consequence of ignoring our past is we are losing touch with ourselves. We are losing the connection with ourselves. Because if our past is something that made us who we are, so guess what? If we are ignoring something that made us who we are ignoring ourselves. We are ignoring a certain aspect of ourselves. And we are judging also that aspect of self. Because it's too hurtful to look to the past, right? So how can we be in touch with our true self if we are running from self? If we are running from the past? Sixth consequence of ignoring the past. As I mentioned, it's a closed heart. We will never reach that feeling of peace in our heart, of peace with what happened in the past, of peace with our hurt that we endured in the past, if we will not revisit our past. Because revisiting the past makes us feel all that hurt, all of those feelings. It brings up what was pressed and suppressed because of no wish, no need to look to the past, running from the past. So it will help to heal. And healing happens through the feeling. So imagine now the heart being as a muscle, right? If we run away from certain feelings, for example, people run away actually from both and good and bad feelings, but if we run away from negative feelings, then the heart is not having practice, is not developing that muscle, because the purpose of the heart is to feel, right? I'm not talking about biological purpose to supply the blood and so on, but the feelings are hiding there. So if we are avoiding how we feel by avoiding looking to our past, guess what? Our heart becomes weaker from being open. It slowly closes down, shuts down by the fear of revisiting our past. So we need to pump our heart with the feelings, even if those feelings are so-called negative. We need to allow our heart to feel everything. Only then there is a pathway to healing. I went through it myself. I'm still going through it myself. I just feel that the hardest part is already behind me. I'm still dealing with some leftovers of the past, let's say, of making peace with my past. But when I allowed myself, guys, when I allowed myself to feel finally and not control anymore what I was feeling, when I allowed myself to cry for 2 weeks, 24/7, being in the shop crying, going to my hairdresser crying, when I allowed myself, the compassion came, love came into my heart. So, if you don't want your heart to be closed, don't follow your fear and go back to your past. Revisit it. Seventh consequence of ignoring the past is constantly, most likely subconsciously, living in a fear of the past repeating itself because of the same belief that, oh, if I will where I focus, that I multiply. So it means if I put my focus on the past, if I choose to revisit the past, it means I will recreate my past in the future. But it works opposite. If we don't revisit our past, we are recreating our past because we fail to learn those lessons. And in order to learn those lessons, we need to go back. There is no another way for healing. We need to go to the past in order to make peace with the past. So then we can go towards the future. Because if healing won't happen first, you will experience the same what I did. And I'm still experiencing it. Feeling stuck with whatever I start doing in regards to my business. Blockage after blockage after blockage comes in and prevents me from achieving the goals, achieving the vision that I want. And now I understand why I had all of those blockages. Because first, healing must take place. From that space, then the creation happens. The creation that is meant to flourish. Otherwise, the destruction will be created. And when it's time for somebody to stop being destructive, life will not allow it to happen by leaving those blockages. I want to mention shortly, when looking to the past becomes toxic. And from this position, that's where those beliefs came from. That it's not good to look back to the past. It's communicated in a wrong way. We need to look back, but when we dwell in our past, and when we sit there, soak there for the longest of times, and we are not learning anything, if we don't see the lessons, if we are not applying and not integrating those lessons in our life, then the past becomes toxic. Because what happens, we are just reliving it emotionally all over and over and over again. But if implementation, integration doesn't happen, that's when it becomes toxic. And also what people like to do, myself included, I was one of those people, and I'm still learning how to completely get rid of it. I made a good progress, still some leftovers left to do. Fixation on a desired outcome. When somebody is so much clinging on the desired outcome and not letting it go, in those moments, the past becomes toxic. For example, the very common example, relationships. When somebody is fixated, has tunnel vision on a specific person, I want that person and that's it. Because I feel all of those feelings and so on. And they go back to the past many times, revisiting the past all over and over and over again. and they make some improvements, they make some changes within themselves with expectation that they will get what they lost. But it's never a case. Expectation always just brings opposite results. Expectations will teach us how to let go and how to do this work of revisiting the past, not for the outcome, specific outcome as a person to get, but as an outcome of our own personal healing, that we become a better person, that we are growing. If another person that somebody is focused on, fixated on, will start changing together with your own changes, then bravo, well done. But your own personal growth should never be a reason to get a certain outcome with another person. So that's when the past becomes toxic, when revisiting the past becomes toxic, when expectation to get a certain outcome comes into play, because we can't control somebody else. We can't control how somebody else is feeling, what somebody else will do, and that belief usually messes up that if I change, it means another person must change as well because that person is connected with me. Not necessarily. Your changes are for you, and that another person has their own free will. That's why God gave us free will, to choose whether we want to change or no. And it's important to recognize when it's time to release the past by healing those feelings that are connected with the past events. How to work with our past so it serves us. I wrote tips, steps based on my own experience, what helped me, how my process looked like. First of all, acknowledgement. Without acknowledging the past and what happened in the past, nothing will move forward. No healing, no progress, nothing. So first, acknowledge your past and stop denying that no, it didn't happen, or that no, it didn't hurt me, or no, it still doesn't hurt me. Acknowledge the past events and especially how it made you feel and how it's still impacting your feelings at the present moment. Acknowledgement. Second, feeling the feelings of the past. I can't even tell you how important it is to allow yourself to feel. When you go back to your past, allow yourself to feel all of the hurt, all the lowest feelings, so then you can heal it. Third, learning. From my own experience, when I allowed myself to feel the lowest of the lowest feelings ever, like guilt, shame, regrets, judgment, fear, anxiety, anger, all of those feelings, when I allowed myself to feel, fully soak in those feelings for some time, then I became aware about my mental chat, about my subconscious thoughts that were running my head as a pattern, my subconscious beliefs. So we need to feel. And we need to feel, and from the feeling we are also learning. So acknowledge, feel, learn, then heal through the feeling, and together with like combining heart space with the mental space. When it comes into coherence and works together, the feeling with the mental space, when our mind finally understands what we are feeling, how we are feeling, why we are feeling, then is when we are learning and when we start healing. After healing, implementation, not all after healing. Healing actually is a longer process. I would say, acknowledge, feel, learn, then implement and integrate. So those lessons that you got through the experience of feeling of our past, implement and integrate in your present moment. And the last one, let go. Let go, whether it's your own thoughts that are destructive ones, whether it's resentment. But I promise you, if you choose to feel it, to soak in your feelings of your past, resentments will disappear by itself, and much, much compassion will fill your heart. So let go. After all, when you go through this process, just let go. That's how you make peace in your heart with what happened in the past. And let go the desired outcome. If something didn't happen in your past, let go of the. It depends. Sometimes it's enough to let go of the idea of the certain outcome. And also let go of your old ways of being that caused you and others to experience hurt. So basically, that's what healing itself is. And our past serves us. When we know how to work with our past, then the healing comes into play. And that's it, guys. That's it, guys, for today, for this topic. And I hope now you will have less fear, or maybe not at all, about the idea of revisiting your past, of idea to going to that dark room and opening that closet and letting all those skeletons out of your closet. Because if we never gonna go back to our past, if we never gonna revisit it, those skeletons will stay locked in that wardrobe. So yeah, it was really good to share this with you, and I really hope in one way or another it helped you. Share with somebody who you think, who you feel that they need, if they're going through something different, or if you hear from them that they have the same beliefs that are coming from the law of attraction and toxic positivity, as they say. that don't look to your past. If somebody resists looking to their past, feel free to share this video. Also, if you personally need assistance to go through this process of healing by going to the past, let me know. Reach out, let's talk. We will see if I can be that person for you, if I'm the right person for you, and I would gladly, if I can, if I am that person, I would gladly be there for you and make sure to make this process more easier for you, and definitely more faster, because to go through it alone without any support, it really takes time. And you can see from my disappearing time, for how long I disappeared from social media, from creating content, it took really much time for me to do it on my own. But because I did it on my own, now I know how to do it. And now I am skilled to share this with others and to help others through the same. So yeah, that's me guys. See you, hear you around.